This is Gabriel Ndaikan from the Comfy Global Consulting. I'm here in the name of God, Elohim, from the heaven, and I'm speaking today, the Saturday, the day men were created by God. I love this day. That's why I run on Saturday, because that's the day that God created us. It's a good day. It's a day that people or men should be reminded that they were not created by themselves. They should be looking for other people. They should be willing to help other people. So let's go straight to the point here. The signs of the last days. The signs of the last days. You know, I'm gonna start first by saying that everything have an end. Usain Bolt, he ran so well. He did a very good journey. He have inspired a lot of people running. I'm a runner myself, but resistant runner, long distance. But the time has come for him to really rethink about retiring like he always wanted. You know, the sign, like I say to people, don't never force the will of God. Be patient and things will come. And whatever you do, the end is the end. Everything have a beginning, everything have an end. You can see, nobody could have ever imagined that. We don't hope it was the case, but he did very well. He's a good athlete. He's a good runner, and he has skill in him. Everybody have milestone in their life. God gave us a very powerful gift. He gave us the gift of freedom, the freedom of choice. When I was talking to Jesus Christ, the Spirit, the wisdom that was given to me such way. The reason why we have a lot of problems in this world, a lot of problems, is because of this freedom of choice. The freedom of choice was given. It started in heaven. Because when God created the angels, the angel was doing exactly what God was telling them to do. They're serving God. They were created to serve God. And they are created to serve God. So what happened is, when Lucifer rebelled against God, he requested that freedom. He requested the freedom of choice to be given. In that, he did his own things. He came up with evil intent. That's why he was cast out. So as he was cast out, he promised he's going to bring that in this earth. And so far, it seems like he succeeded according to what God allowed him to do. So the freedom of choice that we have, God gave us. People go around and talking about that. It is the center of all problem in this world. All the problem you see have to do with this freedom of choice. People call upon God. Where's God when there are problems? It's because God cannot do nothing for you. God gave every single person a freedom of choice. And that freedom of choice is sovereign. It means that even God cannot change that freedom of choice unless your choice gonna impact His original foundation of His universe. God will protect you, but the freedom of choice is the freedom of choice. If you ask the question, so we gonna see things happening like this forever? That's one of the reasons why Jesus is gonna return. Because they know things are not fair here. If you ask God to take the freedom of choice of a killer, of a rapist, of an evil person, God will also tell you, I will take the freedom of choice of every single man in this world. It is an eternal God. He doesn't change decision based on one person. He allowed this from happening, not that he have not seen the sins. He's seen it all. So he knows that people have a choice to choose him or to choose evil. And many of us are making those choices of choosing evil instead of choosing God, following the way of this word instead of following the way of God. The truth are information that a man need, a person need to apply into the life so that they can live a life that is acceptable before God. That is the truth. Now, righteousness is the standard in which God placed the way a man should live his life to please his nature, to please his will. Where do you find the truth? You find the truth into the Bible, into the Word of God. That's where you find the truth. So now, when God gives you the freedom of choice, God cannot stop you from doing evil because of that freedom of choice. As long as your choice is not impacting God's establishment, He will allow that. An example, when Paul was trying to kill the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ, God had to blind him. Why? Because he was exceptional. You try to alter God's establishment. That's one of the reasons. That's very unprecedented for God to actually act the way he did. Jesus Christ himself appeared and he became blind. Saul coming after David, he had to die. Herod coming after Jesus, he died from a disease, incurable. So those are very exceptional cases. But before Jesus Christ returned, you are responsible for your own choices, and you are responsible for all the consequences and all the benefit that you're going to make in your choices. God will not intervene. God is there. People are crying out to God. They're running away from God, going into court, hurting other people, doing things because, okay, the entire world is doing this, so I'm doing that as well. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my position. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose this and that. It's because they don't understand God. The church is not treating you well. The people who are talking about God are not telling you the truth. The truth, as Jesus Christ laid it out, the freedom of choice is the number one killer of men's soul. It is a good thing for the flesh, but it is a sad thing for the soul. It pleases man when they do things their own way, but the soul is what going to pay the price. Freedom of choice. Blessing or curse? You answer. Freedom of choice, a blessing or a curse? You tell me. I do believe it's a curse. And if you go back to the Bible, you read it very well, you see it was a curse. Because when Adam and Eve broke God's law, God said, God cursed this earth and all generations because of the freedom of choice they wanted. They rejected, they spoke to God, and behind God, they start doing something else because they wanted the freedom of choice, as Satan promised to God in heaven before he got cast out. So the freedom of choice is what make people kill. If somebody take a gun, I'm going to kill this. If somebody go and do something evil, God will not intervene unless it does affect his original foundation and structure of the universe. He will not intervene. So you see my situation that I'm in, Gabriel and Icon. People are worried now. God will not intervene. He will mourn with me. He will cry with me. God is also anxious like you are. Because everything that is happening, not all of them are from God's will. It's not God's will. It is our will. It is our will, and God is mourning like we are mourning. Because He gave us the freedom of choice, which is a sovereign will that even Him Himself cannot change it. When a kid is already 6 years old and plus, God cannot come and tell him the way he have to think. He can suggest. He can advise. That's what He can do. Unless your decision will alter God's establishment, then He will intervene. Angel will appear, if men cannot do so, to seize such operation that will alter God's initial establishment. But beside that, evil will always be if men don't take good decision to follow God's word, God's truth, God's standard, to be fine, righteous before His own eyes. That's what is happening in our earth today. That's what we see, the freedom of choice. When you want to do evil, you don't see God. God will not, He will not do anything. That's why people are mixed up. They don't get it. You have a freedom of choice. Me, I am not favored before God, but I attracted God's favor by responding good to evil. I have attracted God's favor by responding good to evil. You have to understand that. That's the only way right now, before Jesus will return, a person can survive. The thing that they're teaching you, they're not teaching you right. I said to you before, there is a difference. Preaching, reading the word of God, and experiencing the presence of God is totally different things, my friend. Totally different thing. Somebody gonna slap you. Somebody gonna beat you. God gonna appear before you and you say, are you really God? Are you really God? He will not do that once. He will do that as many times. Because you're going to be questioning if He's God. Why not? He intervened into the situation. Because you don't understand. You're still a baby in the spirit. You have a sovereign will. Everybody have a sovereign will. If you ask God, why not you take that person's sovereign will? God gonna say, I'm gonna have to do that for everybody. Even yourself. That's the problem we're having. And that's the reason Jesus Christ have to return. To fix this problem. Otherwise, this world gonna be in chaos. Complete chaos. With the freedom of choice God gave us. A complete chaos. Coming back, linking it to my next topic. The USA with the North Korea Peninsula. Freedom of choice right there. Do God stop somebody from building a nuclear weapon or arsenal to launch it to bomb people from dying? No, He will not. Unless his action will alter God's initial establishment, then God will act. Either angel gonna appear to stop that. Otherwise, men gonna kill men. Freedom of choice. Be very careful, my friend. You have to know who God is. You have freedom of choice. Don't call God in your madness. God is mourning like you. Not that He cannot do anything, but because He stands with His word with purity. What He says is what stands. He doesn't change it because of somebody trying 10,000 times a day. He will not change God's decision. You do evil, God is not responding. You okay? You are responsible before God when your soul gonna leave this planet. That's why hell and heaven exist, because of this freedom of choice. You do evil, God say nothing. You think that you're winning. Now, you will be responsible for your action. because of this freedom of choice. That's why I'll ask you a question. Do the freedom of choice a curse or a blessing? Answer. It is a good thing for the flesh, but it is a sad thing for the soul. Now, the advice that I can give to our administration, according to how Jesus Christ explained this to me, North Korea is a very, very tough country in terms of people spirituality. He wanted me to say this message to the president. You never saw somebody who refused to eat. He decided to suffer because he want to make a point. But you are there watching him and saying, why are you suffering? Instead of just saying, Master. He said to you, he smiled, he said, I'm happy because I know my resistance is impacting the way you're thinking about me. Those people that you see in North Korea, they can stay into the decision even if they don't eat, even if they die, they'll be happy. I mean, you're going to be surprised. You see somebody dying and say, I am proud to be part of this movement against the pure evil America. So I die peacefully, even in my pain. You'll be surprised about these people. That's the kind of people they are, Jesus Christ said, the kind of people. So the point here is not, they are not trying to win a war. They know they can win against us. They know that, but they have the technology. They have the nuclear weapon. Now, we don't know what kind of nuclear weapon they have, but they do have a nuclear weapon that is a little bit advanced as well. Now, they know they can win a war against us, but they can impact a lot of things. They can kill a lot of people. They can launch those nuclear weapons all over the place. People are gonna die. That's why they're counting on. They're not counting on winning us. They know they can win. But as long as they can impact people, they can destroy an entire country. Those people you see. As long as they can do that, they're making a point. They're happy. There are people they are willing to die for a cause. Those are the kind of people. So you have to be careful. Diplomacy for me is the right thing to do. That's why it comes back to the freedom of choice. The freedom of choice is a thing. You're going to have to deal with people with different opinions. You're going to have to deal with country that think differently. We have to be careful. So diplomacy is what will work with North Korea. No war. Because we go to war there. It's not about a conventional war to win them. It's not about that. They know that. The point with them is that as long as they can cause collateral damage, as much as they can, is what will please them. If they can launch it into and kill about them, that's what it is. Because they have the weapon. And a nuclear weapon that is launched, my friend, the world will be bad. So we have to be careful about this. Very, very careful, and follow what China is saying, because they know exactly what those people have. For some reason, they might have an idea, and I know that we do have an idea about those things. Okay, now we're going to Southern Cameroon issue. You know, my dear friend, there is a problem over there in that country where I'm from. Those people, they want the independence. But they are meeting with senators. Okay? The same senators in DC that I sent letters about abuse against me from the freedom of choice that this government made to come against me. They're going to meet the same kind of people who are listening to the president of Cameroon to destroy me. My friend, open your eyes and don't waste your time too much. You're going against a new world order. There is a system in place here that people can only do so much to change it. We have to see things the way they are. That man, lucky as he is, the country in which he controls right now, which is Cameroon, is very crucial for peace in that region. So, and also it is vital for that central region. And the other thing is, he has been in power for too long. It means the people who even wanted to help are kind of scared because they don't know how many people he already rooted his establishment. So it will not be easy to take it out. And also, even that's the case, what is the void that will be created? Because it is a very peaceful country, and the destabilization there will destabilize the entire region. So you can imagine that. And the second thing is, he was put in place by the French, not by the American, not by the Canadian, not by the British. So if you want to take him out, you have to go deal with the French. Because in a new world order, you have to be pragmatic. It's not about talking too much or being strong or being intellectual. You have to be pragmatic and realistic. The spiritual world exists. Lucifer have established his kingdom in this planet, and there's others. You cannot come and remove somebody that you put in place just by being angry. Okay? There's establishment, and everybody have a place. The French put him in place. It is only the French who can take him out. Going to see the American, going to see the British, going to see this and that will not change anything. Those same people are going to have to go meet into the New World Order things and find out exactly what is going on. If the interest of the New World Order is better with him there, he's going to stay there until he dies. Unless there is a common mutuality among the people of that country that come all together and create a movement that the New World Order will have no other option than accepting that kind of movement. Because then it's going against the interest. You have to be pragmatic and realistic. And doing the thing, going after the embassy, doing all these things, you don't understand the spiritual world. You don't understand how the kingdom of evil of Lucifer is established in this world. You're just wasting your time, and I'm sorry to tell you that. If somebody like him can be over there and damage my life here, I'll send the same letter to those senators. You don't think that they know that? Military contract with Cameroon. 90 people, 90 military missionary from the United States over there to control what? The entire region against terrorism. You think that those are very easy things to take out? You're going to take the United Nations. The UN is the center of the New World Order. You don't know that. You're going to talk, well, we went to the UN, they even talked to him about it. The UN is the center of the New World Order. Okay? So there's nothing you're going to do. The French put him there. It's the French who are going to take him out. Because everybody that is giving a present in that New World Order is responsible for that present. Those countries are under the French command. It is their responsibility. According to the New World Order, there's nothing you can do unless the time of God come in place for that. Now, USA against Venezuela issue. An advice I want to give to the President Trump. The USA have done good war. Venezuela is a country that is rich with oil. People are suffering. The same thing, like talking about Cameroon, kind of same thing, you know. Only Jesus Christ will solve all these freedom of choice thing, freedom of choice madness around the world. People are dying, injustice. You know, Jesus Christ prayed, Father, may your will be on earth like it is in heaven, because he knew that this world don't have the pure justice. It doesn't have the way are so wrong. And people are following that way by jealousy. Satan is entering family to try to destroy family. God started with the family. He didn't start it with the presidency. The Bible, which is the book of God, started with Adam and Eve. Family. Everything starts with the family. Now, you go to Venezuela. Venezuela, the region, you have to look the region. The region of South America is different from the region where Iraq was in Afghanistan. Those people don't like invasion, because if you start talking about invading that nation, you're going to bring them together, because everybody's going to be like, I'm going to be next. And they know what happened over there in Iraq. They're not going to accept it. So they're going to, by consequences of it, they're going to become ally to the president of Venezuela because of that. So it's not a good move to invade, to even try. It will not be successful, because they don't gonna like it, they don't gonna accept it. So we're talking about another war of the South America region against the North America region, because that's what gonna be. They can speak about, okay, diplomatic things, but as soon as they start seeing military forces there, they'll be like, nah. It could not happen here in our continent. You know, we prefer this like that. We saw it, because they know that if you come there, you're gonna be oil thing and all this thing and that and that, and so they don't want it. They don't want imperialism there. So we have to approach this with diplomacy as well in Venezuela. We have to approach it with diplomacy. All those leaders around the world, they are all monsters. They want power. You know, like in Kenya, the person who built the electoral system was killed a couple of days before the election. Okay? Now, the opposition party over there in Kenya saying that the election has been hosted. I mean, altered. The result has been altered. The person who created the system got killed. So he's not there to come and prove it. But when he died, nobody said anything. Even the opposition party didn't say anything. So now they're coming back and say, well, the results are not good. The result has been altered. Falsifies. But when that guy was killed, nobody said anything. So we all responsible for our action. Choice, freedom of choice. The freedom of choice. You got to be very careful. And I'll speak about it. The freedom of choice. Now we're going into the creation of man and the woman, because the women are talking too much about freedom of choice. That freedom of choice is saying is and will be the curse for our generation if you don't pay attention. We run away from the truth. We're doing things that please the flesh, and we are part of this world. Being part of this world is not just saying I'm not of this world, but it is reflecting or reflection of your action. If you know what you're doing is not right according to God's standard or God's truth, you know what you're doing is not right at all. God will never gonna block you to go and take a poison to come and put in somebody's food, because God knows He gave you freedom of choice, like He gave me freedom of choice. The way I responded into evil attracted the love of God or the favor of God toward me. That's the way it works at this point. You want to be in good agreement with the heaven, you have to be able to accept. You have to be able to respond to evil with good, in order for you to attract the heaven and attract the favor of Jesus Christ, of God through Jesus Christ. But you will be tempted. The temptation is so strong. You see the devil entering your own brothers and sisters' brain with evil intention. Concurrences among brothers and sisters in families. Who's going to be better? Who's going to have a better salary? Who's going to be bigger than who? Those are the kind of things that destroy families. And the devil is pleased with it. The freedom of choice that God gave us is what brings all of this madness in this world. Because people just never wanted to pinpoint that, but Jesus did. And people ask the question, where God is, this is your answer. God gave you a freedom of choice. God gave him a freedom of choice. God gave the other one who is hurting you a freedom of choice. If God takes his freedom of choice, it means he have to take yours as well. So it's a fair game. But in order for you to attract and benefit from the presence of God, you have to respond to evil with good. And that's what Jesus Christ came to teach. That's what Jesus Christ came to teach. People see me, they don't understand. The reason why I became so spiritual is because I learned how to respond to evil with good, even through my frustration and anger. Because I have the anger of Moses, but I have the heart of Jesus Christ. And that's why I don't like to be bothered. When I say to somebody, that's enough, that's enough. Because when I get angry, it's disastrous. But my heart, it will always going to be good, even during my anger. It's just the way I was created. So people have to be very careful. They have to know who they are. If you reject where your blessing came, even the blessing that God has put for you will be in jeopardy. If you do not recognize through your action the work a person has done for you, even your work that you're going to do for others will never going to be recognized. It's not me saying that. It is written in the Bible. According to your deed, you will receive. According to your faith, it will be given to you. You do not expect having tomatoes when you put banana seed on the ground. It's just not gonna happen. If you put mangoes on the ground, it is mangoes you're gonna receive. If you spend your time putting poison in people's food, it is death you're gonna receive. I am not inventing anything. I am clarifying things to many people out there, working taller like people who have the brain, but they don't know how to think or reason. You tell me, whoever went one day and put tomato seed on the ground and receive potatoes, the day you're gonna see that, I mean, Jesus Christ is returning in the next hour. You put potato seed on the ground, it is potato you're gonna receive. So don't go out there defaming people's name. You put evil down and then you expect having good. Remember what Jesus Christ said to Peter. Peter, put that sword down. Whoever killed by the sword will die with the sword, by the sword. It's the same thing I'm saying. I'm not inventing anything. You are wishing for somebody to be sick. You are wishing for somebody to fail. It is failure and sickness you are calling in you and your family. It's not something, and people walk out there, they seem not to get it. When you start saying this, oh well, this is too rude, this is not good, this is not pleasant, this is unfair, this is very disrespectful to me. No. I'm telling you that if you drove 100 miles an hour in a place where you're supposed to drive 25 miles an hour, you're going to have an accident. It's not rude. I try to save you. In this instant, I'm trying to save your soul. People became so sensitive in this society because of the freedom of choice. I am free to do. I am free. I am free. I am free. It is a curse, my friend. Because most of our choices are wrong according to God's standard. Including myself. That's why we have a chaotic world. People are judged wrongly. People who supposed to be judged are not judged. People who are supposed to have what is supposed to have don't have it. And people who don't supposed to have it have it. People are defamed wrongly. People are misjudged. People are prejudged. Profiled wrongly. And people even die wrongly. Because somebody made a mistake. It means a wrong choice that killed somebody else. Be careful when you call up that freedom of choice. I am free, I am free, I am free, the land of the free. Be careful. Be very careful, because this is the center of all problems we have in this country and in this entire world. And we are all, and we will all going to be responsible before God to answer our action. It is unfortunate that my own people who are supposed to protect me in this country are walking along with strangers who don't understand the culture. We have a link. You know better. You know better. And that's why you most likely be the one that God gonna look and say, you know better than these people. What you did and what you're part of is not good. You cannot come and sell your own brother to stranger and expect the situation to be solved by chance. And that's exactly what the fellow brothers Cameroon and Africa are doing. Even my own. The wrath of God will come upon you before it comes upon the people of this country, because they don't know well. You are the one to tell them, no, that's not true. That's not how we should we live our culture. That's not how we think about our people. But we don't do that. We claim, well, we are in a different land. Exactly, part of this world. Who are you? Who are your God? Who are you believing in? This word or God? So, I'll see you next time. And I hope that you guys get this video right and that you follow some of the instruction, the truth of God, the word of God in the Bible, to make right decisions and have love in everything you do. You know, you can speak through anger, to frustration, but your heart must be in harmony with love. That's the most important thing. If you speak but your heart is in harmony with God, it's a good thing. That's the most important part. God knows you're going to have frustration, but if your heart is in harmony with God, you're good. That's what I say to people. I have the anger of Moses, but I have the heart of Jesus Christ. You have to know who you are. And you have to let God know that I know who I am. He will work with you. But your heart have to be in synchronization with love to other people. So I would like to let you today, and I hope that this message go along. We have to fix our families. The responsibility of raising those kids are the responsibility of the parents. I'll see you next time. The freedom of choice, a curse or a blessing.